Hello, I'm Offstick. Welcome to episode 25 of BlockHeads. I survived the night. I've got an arrow in my shoulder and my elbow. I think it's about time to retreat back to the tech island. Now, recently I have just downloaded DaVinci Resolve, which is a new editing program I'm going to be trying out for my videos. And if all goes well, I will continue to use it. Just noticed that there might be some slight changes in the editing, which I don't think there will be. I think for the most part, I'm going to try to keep it all the same. But as we're in the world of BlockHeads, I wanted to show you what I'd done off camera. We really needed a work area for the tech island, and I kind of slapped it together. I dug out this little, this little tunnel. It's fresh and decored. Even, using expensive blocks like obsidian. Hey, high roller waffle. But yeah, I just needed a nice, clean, organized area to go to, especially around the tech island. And this will probably become my main work area aside from the starter cave over at BlockHeads Island. Just because there's less things loading and it's a little bit more bearable to kind of work with blocks like, generating concrete with the little generator that we got in the corner. I've always got to have one of these things in my workstations. Just makes things convenient for us. And I've discovered the end rods are really nice for modern building. I mean, I've used them before when I was in creative and stuff, but now for my survivor worlds, I don't mess with end rods much, and I really need to. It looks really nice. A nice clean source of lighting that just kind of put in here. And this is basically just, blocking all the spawns that are occurring within the facade. And this is something I wanted to continue today. Actually keep working on the tech island, get it built up a little bit more, maybe do a wall or two, just depending on how much time I have. Most likely I will only have time for one. I've been just very busy here recently within the last couple of weeks. Just went back to work from the COVID stuff. So yeah, I've been really busy just getting back in the flow of things. But yeah, I really need to get some materials before I begin building this, but I'm going to go wandering around in the world, see if there's anything new that's popped up since my absence last week. So I'm just stumbling through town, and man, I just get this really nice sense of pride when walking through BlockHeads. I mean, just all the work Hex and I had done to this area, it's awesome. And then all the redstone project Ismine and I have been working on, making a lot of progress on BlockHeads, and I'm just proud of everyone. Now, as far as building goes, I think this area is pretty much filled in. Like, I don't think there's much more we could do to it. It seems like pretty much detailed to a T. And then we're going to, I guess, start working on the area up here and just kind of expanding from there. Hex has been working on something. I don't know exactly what this is. If I were to guess, just make a slight guess, it kind of looks like an armory or maybe some kind of blacksmith. Really cool little, like, crenellation design right in the center of that. So it's kind of like a cross between a fortress and a home. I'm excited to see what this is. I'm curious. We had a couple of plans going on here, so I'm wondering if that is maybe what we were planning to put there. But anyways, probably going to mosey on to see if there's any new redstone projects or any adaptations to the farms. I've been doing some snooping, been doing some spying around, cannot find anything new as far as redstone or farms go. But that doesn't mean that there isn't something new, and I've also got something to show you just within this portal. But behind the portal, I noticed there's this little peephole. Little walkthrough. Check this out. So Ismine had done a renovation to the work area right behind the baby perimeter, and I think this looks great. It's so fresh looking. It really needed a change. I just left it very bare bones look. It's very tattered. And he had come along, done some work for the walls. Looks really awesome. I love this like mechanical looking design. And another technique that Ismine uses, this is just... it's gorgeous. It's so smart. A root in a pot and then leaves above to make it look like an actual plant, and it actually has the branches and stuff, which is just so cool. And it looks even better with the smaller plants like this. It looks almost perfect. Like you can't like discern this from an actual plant. I mean, you could not mistaken it for a different kind of build. And I love that. I never did know that technique. And yeah, it's kind of neat to see some of his ideas come into the flow and mix of things. I don't know what to do. I mean, I guess I could just fly away. You have to love that despawn mechanic. It just makes things so much easier. Now, as far as our modern facade goes, I don't really have a lot of materials to build modern, but I do have the worst part of it. I've got the gray concrete and I've got the white concrete, so we have a bunch to build with. Hopefully it will cover this entire area. It seems like maybe this is a little bit bigger than what it is over here, so this is kind of like a short modern facade look. That's gonna be quite long, So we're gonna have to do a little bit of tinkering around to get it right, especially with this big like sheer cliff. I mean, that I've dug out. I'll have to do some thinking on that one. And now, as far as building materials go, what do we have? Do I not have a thing? Just got a boat. That's all I've got in those chests. I need to start using those. And then for these chests, I think those are pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty filled with materials. I mean, we've got some glass to work with here. This gray stained glass might be useful. Even got the wool station over there, so if we wanted to include some color or texture, that would be the way to go. Was there some more glass? No, it's just stone. Okay, so, well, we got a little bit to work with. I mean, not ideal. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Some concrete. Yeah, we'll figure out something, but I think I'm just going to kind of build this on the spot. I'm going to start with a frame, do the white and gray concrete so I can just kind of slap it in there and then work with the detailing as the episode goes on. So that works with me. Let's get this done. I have this strange feeling that I'm going to have to come back and do some very extravagant detailing to this compared to what I'm doing right now. I'll be completely honest, I'm running kind of short on time. Like, I don't have much time to do this episode, so I've just been trying to make it work. You know, it does look like a facade, and I think it's going to work for us. It just needs some detailing. And yeah, it's not quite as much as what's going on right here. Might actually want to do some back scenery stuff because we don't really have a lot of space to work with in the front, maybe just a few blocks, but this is looking a little bit plain, and also this top piece on this wool farm where this is all situated. So, you know, it's going to take some contemplation to get it right. I got to do something for this corner to get it plugged up, but I'm not totally sure what to do. I kind of want to do some kind of unique connect there. Might have to do a little bit of terraforming too. So that's probably what I'm going to work on next, just to get it to where it looks cool, like an actual hill. So it shouldn't be too hard. Let me pull out my pickaxe. Alright, I'm gonna be honest. You know, it's not the best looking terraforming job I've done. That's for sure. But yeah, for a quick, easy setup, it wasn't terrible. Haste 2 really helped me out. Just kind of carved it up, you know, make it look like steps. Just a nice foundation to start with once we get around to it. Might want to do a little bit of work to that side. Let's do a little bit of chopping in a couple of these spots just to make it look a little bit more pleasing. There, let's do a couple of those and maybe a few of those. There we go. You know, I just take that whole ledge out. I could do this for hours. That's the thing. Like, when it comes to terraforming, there's no really getting it perfect. Could be a lot better than that though. But for a rushed episode, I think we're doing pretty good. We're on a good track, solid track, good foundation right here. I'm going to figure out something to build there, and for the rest of it, it's really functional. I mean, it's kind of hard to fit in the aesthetics when we are going for function, because we've got the wool farm that we had to build into it, a little manual storage area for the outside, that way we could just run up to it, that way we can get rid of these chests that we have over here, and the entrance into the sugarcane farm, which I still not built this one. I can't figure out what I want to put there. Probably just like a little modern home. A little bit fancy, maybe do like a flat top like this one. But make it a little bit more simple, you know, just kind of fancify it a bit. But, you know, we're well on our way to having this facade pretty much in, at least the foundation. I know I got to do a lot of detailing. Okay, so we're going to get first impressions of this home once I get done with the roof. I think I am done with the roof, so there's a slab there that's just driving me insane. I can't leave that. Now as far as the front, yeah, we are good. So let's see what it looks like. Not bad. It's a little cut off with that divider, but you know, something that is kind of driving me crazy though is this 2-block design right here. So if we were to carve this out and then put in panes, ooh, okay, we gotta fix that too. Let's go ahead and grab that. There we go. And panes can just go across. There we go. I'm kind of liking it, as weird as that is. Looks kind of funky, doesn't it? Let's just be honest. It looks a little bit funky. What could I do? Is this 2-block design? No, that'd be the top. So we could do stairs going across if we wanted to. I think for now, that's just gonna have to do. I have maybe about 3 hours to rush this, so I'm gonna put in the floor right there. And maybe do a little bit of detailing work to this because it's not accessible. So you might want to just see some details lingering behind the glass. I think this is going to make a substantial difference in the cliff work. I mean, it looks better like this when you put in some detailing and just make it look natural compared to that flat sheer cliff that we did have. Yeah, that looks so much better from a distance. And, you know, just done some underwork. It was maybe like 30 minutes of work, just kind of getting it to a point where it looked more natural when you're looking in that corner. And I thought a terrace would look good there. Definitely going to have to play some designs though. That square design, I was wanting to go for more like a contemporary design, but I just don't think it's going to work. It just doesn't fill in enough area. And I made a couple of other touches. We've got like these columns under this cube, which I think look so much better now. It was just like a cliff line underneath and it didn't really look that modern. Made it a little bit beefier on this side, and yeah, it goes a long ways in just filling in the area. Whenever you're like walking up to it, you can see a lot more intricacies. It just looks more detailed than what it is. It's not really as detailed as one would think. Put in some leaves and stuff in here. I think this is going to be more of like an indoor like greenhouse or like a little plant area, like a plant room, and then maybe above up there do some like tall flowers to make it look more natural. Very cool. I'm surprised we were able to do this within like 2 hours and 30 minutes. Just like kind of planning things out, tinkering with it, and getting it to a point where, you know, hey, it's not terrible to look at. This guy right here, he's a gentleman. You gotta love him. He's doing all the heavy lifting. He's doing the hard work of scaring these villagers. It must be a hard life in that cauldron. Now, I've only got 30 minutes left, so any more detailing for this facade would probably get into some gritty business, and I don't really want to get into that. It'd probably be a long process of just detailing things. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I mean, for the time constraints, 2 hours and 30 minutes, not a terrible thing to pop up. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. Definitely could be reworked on a couple of segments of it. So like this segment, this little smaller segment for the manual storage and the sugarcane farm, that could be reworked. But I really like these 3 modules right here. So we've got the wool farm, the indoor plant life thing, and then the cube. And this terrace needs to be reworked, but the cliff is looking good. We just got to do some more variation on the textures. So yeah, not much work to do for the facade. It's in, and from afar, without seeing the details, I'm liking it. I think it fits in there perfectly. It does kind of look like a little modern city once you start getting these structures up. But yeah, I think it's about time to leave this one behind for now. Job well done. So once I get my schedule all straightened out, more qualitative episodes are to follow. It's just taking me a bit, bear with me. But in the meantime, you could appreciate some of Hex's videos. He's been an excellent job with his modern builds on his channel, along with any BlockHeads episodes you may have missed. But I think that's going to be about it for today's episode, guys. Hope you did enjoy watching. We'll see you next episode. Have a fantastic day.